Fortnite and fighting games. What do they have in common? I know it might seem like a stretch, Fortnite being a fighting game and all, like, what does Fortnite have in common compared to the likes of popular fighting games like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? Well, for starters, they're both in the game.
Come here! Talk is cheap.
Round 1, fight!
Hey, we do not have the budget for a fight scene in this video. In fact, we have no budget for this damn video. I had to commission the goddamn thumbnail artist with a Taco Bell Lux box.
Supreme Taco Bell Lux box.
Supreme Taco Bell Lux box. Wrap it up.
You talk too much.
Anyways, it may seem like Fortnite and fighting games don't have that much in common, but when you start to chip away at the icy layers of complexity between the two, more similarities than differences start to arise. And no, it's not going to be as simple as, oh, you fight people in Fortnite, so it's a fighting game. No, it's going to go much deeper than that. In this video, I'll be breaking down the reasons why I believe Fortnite is a fighting game, as well as looking at the reasoning and idea behind the comparison in the first place. So, this video will fundamentally be broken down into two parts. The first part will, as the title suggests, show why Fortnite is a fighting game, while the second part of this video will dive into the literacy and ideology of these games as a whole. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it. Huh? Wait, what?
Get over here!
Yo, can we talk about this?
Flawless victory.
Alright, before we go on, I should make this point as clear as possible. Fortnite is not a fighting game. Yep, and just like that, the 3 people watching this video are gone now. But wait, hold up, stay with me now, please! Obviously, Fortnite is not a fighting game. It is a zombie defense game turned into a battle royale, turned into a Team Ready Player One. Just can't fight the facts. So really, this video will be about why Fortnite fights most resemble fighting game ones, as that's the next best option we have here. And to make another thing clear, I will be comparing Fortnite to traditional fighting games, as any other subgenre like platform fighters and beyond stray too far from the comparison at hand. Oh, and I guess a final thing I should make clear is that I will be talking about specifically the build mode of Fortnite, as building is the main reason for the comparison in the first place. So I guess that means that the title of this video would more accurately be why Fortnite build fights resemble a traditional fighting game. But of course, that doesn't make for an appealing title now, does it? So with all those stipulations out the way, it's time for me to present my case. Your Honor, the case I have presented for you today is why my client, Fortnite, resembles a fighting game.
Wait, what? How did I get here? Summit, what's going on?
Now, I know there may be doubts among the audience and the jury, but I can assure you that my evidence is solid. What I will be doing today is comparing the key aspects of fighting games, like neutral, offense, defense, and mind games, and showing how my client Fortnite most resembles them.
Objection!
What?
You have no ground. All those terms came before existed in many other games. With that logic, you can say games like Overwatch or other shooters also resemble fighting games. What are you laughing at?
This is ridiculous.
Well, you see, Your Honor, I knew this point would be brought up. Yes, it is true that other games have these aspects as well, I will not deny that. But what I'm arguing here today is not that other shooters don't resemble fighting games, but that my client Fortnite most resembles one. And it's all due to one key feature of Fortnite that sets it apart from the rest: building.
Hold it! Heed your Grand Master.
I will not betray our principles.
As stated before, I'm going to be looking at 4 of the most major aspects of fighting games: offense, defense, neutral, and mind games. And then I'll show how Fortnite most resembles these key aspects. Let's start with neutral. In fighting games, when 2 players are in the neutral, neither of them have the advantage. This state then becomes a battle to try and get the advantage over the opponent and start their offense. This is usually done by throwing out attacks to hit the opponent, or by using projectiles and assists to try and get into an advantage state. After a hit is landed, the game shifts to offense, where the attacking player aims to keep that advantage state over the opponent. usually with the use of knockdowns and setups. Conversely, the player being attacked switches to defense to try and stop the other player's attacks. The simplest form of defense is blocking, but other forms of defense also include dodging the opponent's attacks, anti-airing the opponent, and other character/game-specific defense tools. And finally, a very important aspect of fighting games is mind games, which can simply be boiled down to guessing your opponent's moves. For example, if you know your opponent is going to duck, then you can hit them with an overhead attack. But mind games can go both ways. So if your opponent knows that you think they are going to duck, then they can stand to block the attack. But if you know that the opponent knows that you want to do an overhead attack, then you can catch them with a low attack.
I'm hearing a lot of information, Summit, but how does this prove that Fortnite resembles a fighting game?
Why, thank you for the transition, Your Honor. I'll lead into my point by asking this. Neon, I have a simple question for you. How does a normal Fortnite build fight usually go?
Well, the two players usually build up to each other and try to get height on the opponent. Then when someone gets cracked and loses their shield, they will usually box up the shield while the other player tries to break into their box to eliminate them.
Well, Your Honor, my adversary just proved my claim that Fortnite resembles a fighting game.
What? Impossible!
What do you mean?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I heard is that two players will build up to each other to get height over one another. AKA trying to get advantage in neutral, where once that advantage is gotten in neutral, the attacking player will attempt to keep that offense going and pressure the opponent while the other player defends from them.
Well, this still doesn't prove your point. Any game with combat has these attributes.
Yes, as I stated before, other games have these attributes. But when looking at especially Fortnite with its building, the comparison is at its greatest. Heck, boxing up and blocking shots in Fortnite can basically be a 1-to-1 to blocking attacks in fighting games. And don't even get me started on the amount of mind games that go into a build fight in Fortnite.
Summit?
You can see the point I'm getting at here. The uniqueness of Fortnite's building leads to unique scenarios and fights that most resemble fighting games.
Summit?
And there's so many other points that I can bring up, like how your build materials act like resources in fighting games, or how the different weapons change your archetype, and
Summit!
Oh, shoot,
Ooh, you in trouble now?
shut up!
So let me get this straight. You pulled this whole stunt just for your point to be fighting with builds feel similar to fights in fighting games.
Well, yeah, but...
Get out.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Get out!
Well, that's why Fortnite is a fighting game, I guess.
You good, fam?
Yeah, it's just that I feel like I have more to say, but I feel like this claim has just lost all the fuel behind it.
Well, why'd you think of this idea in the first place?
It was because I felt like there were so many similarities between the two that I wanted to point it out. Like even down to some of the terms and lingos of the two games.
Oh, I see. Like the literacies of the games felt similar and all.
Wait, say that again.
The literacy of the games? You said that they had similar terms and stuff, so their literacies must be similar.
Neon, you're a genius.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I need to share this news with everyone. Cue the transition. Hello everybody and welcome back to Alto News, where we keep it here in Alto Spear. By the way, you should check out the Alto Spear series here on this channel. More episodes are coming soon. All right, thank you. Today here at Alto News, we're gonna be touching on the topic of literacy in games. And who better to talk about literacy than the smartest legend in Alto Spear? Everyone, please welcome the half Oni, half human, all beast, Nemia!
Hello everyone! I hope you're having a great time. I'm so happy to be here.
I just gotta say, thank you so much, Nemia, for showing up on such short notice.
No worries, Summit. I'm always willing to help anyone out. Just like earlier, I was helping my dad get over his fear of coconuts.
Is that a coconut?
It didn't go too well though. There was a lot of bloodshed.
I'm not scared, I just don't like them.
Oh, whoa, well, it's good to see that you got here in one piece. And to think that you're doing it for completely free too. Wow, you are such a saint.
Wait, I'm not getting paid?
Anyways, I think that the viewers are still a little confused on what this part of the video was exactly about. Nemia, how about taking on a crash course of the definition of literacy?
Alright. A common misconception that people have when they think of the word literacy is that they think that it is only one's ability to be able to read or write a given language, aka being literate or illiterate. However, this isn't the entire truth of the definition. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, the word literacy has two definitions. The first is the ability to read and write, as stated before, but the second definition states literacy to be the knowledge of a particular subject or a particular type of knowledge. It's the second definition that we are highlighting here today. For example, take the game we've been talking about, Fortnite. On the surface, it's very easy to understand. However, once one dives deeper into the game, it is clear to see that Fortnite has its own plethora of terms and definitions that are applied with the context of the game. Terms like Peace Control, Peanut Bar Edit, Mongrel Classic, Pre-Fires, Storm Surge, etc., they all exist within the literacy of the game itself.
Oh, I see. So literacy is like being able to understand any subject to the point where you could read and write its terminology like it's its own language.
Exactly!
Well, thank you so much once again, Nemia, for your help. I promise to pay you eventually for this, but low-key, it might have to be another Taco Bell Lux box, I'm not gonna lie.
Say less! And I want nacho fries in my box. This has been your Alto News section, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
You see, the word literacy is a bit of a complicated term, as you can see from Nemia's definition of it. I too thought that it just meant being able to read or write, but it wasn't until recently that I learned the true meaning of literacy. So, once I learned what it meant, I started to think about things that I would be literate in. And, of course, I immediately thought of video games, with Fortnite and Mortal Kombat being the two main ones to come to mind, as those are two of my favorite games in general. And as I went into this deep thought and pondered on the literacies of these games, I started to realize something. They were way more similar than I thought before. And once I started to dive into their separate literacies and compare the terms within, I saw that many ideas and definitions of one game's literacy could be transposed to the other. So, after giving the idea a bit more thought, I made, well, this video to claim why I think Fortnite resembles fighting games, albeit with a bit more theatrics than actual hard evidence. And while that topic was a big part of this video, I feel like it also highlights something else. That not only are literacies more developed and in-depth than it seems, but they are also more alike than it seems. Like, take chess for example. In terms of literacy, it has centuries of theories and terms and definitions under its belt, and compare the literacy of chess to, say, a RPG game. Even though they are two completely different things, by looking at literacies of the two, one could find similar terms or strategies that tie the two together. Heck, it doesn't even have to be games. One could compare any two or multiple literacies to find how they relate to each other. Like, I don't know, you compare the literacy of baseball with the literacy of meditation or something. Like, I don't know how, but you could. And that's what really matters. Often nowadays, people are very quick to point out the differences between things, which can lead to people or ideas getting isolated from others. But instead of looking at our differences, we should compare what we have in common. And we would see that many things aren't so different after all. So, in conclusion, is Fortnite a fighting game? Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. But is it similar to one? Yeah, I think so. And maybe you do too. Adios, Summiteers.